welcome to my channel. Just thought I'll show you around a few of the fruit trees. This is the large leaf Jaboticaba. It's currently in flower. It's had a lot less flower than usual. Hopefully it'll put on a second set of crop later in the season. Yeah, usually it has a lot more than this. It's usually loaded, but I think that might be the second crop that it usually does. But it's definitely appreciating the rain. It's usually, got a bit of gaps and not as green as it usually is, but it's definitely loving all the mineral water, the natural rain. It's more circular, it's more lush. It's looking the best it's ever had since I put it in. It really appreciates that rain. That's the small leaf. It's more mature. It's older. I've had it in for longer. It's also had flowered. It's even had fruit set and ripened fruit. It's also had a lot less flower than usual as well, and the fruit set's been less and smaller fruits at the moment. And it's the first time this year, it's been flowering for several years, that there's actually I've had some pests, like little flying insects, and even found worms inside a couple of the fruits. So some pest has found it or discovered it, and hope they don't hang around for too long. My father keeps this place maintained, so he's give it a trim, given it a haircut. This is the fruits. I've had a couple already, and that's all that it really has. It's very minimal compared to usual. Well, usually I overeat on them just to try to eat them all before they get too old. And this year, yeah, there hasn't been many, and they're a bit smaller than usual. It's got a bit more flowers coming, it looks. But yeah, hopefully the second crop will make up for all of this. Maybe this is just a bonus, I'll take it as. Yeah. This is my seedling persimmon, or fuyu, the fuyu persimmon. I planted from seed. It was just one of the farm plants that I planted very early on. It was just back in my early days, before I discovered dailies, I think. And yeah, it's over 10 years old. It's we've had a few fruit off it, but not many. Definitely would have been better with a grafted variety. But it is satisfying when it's, when you harvest the fruit from your own seed grown. Even though it's a fuyu, this is it's quite astringent. I've got to let it ripen on the shelf after harvest. Even if it's fully ripe on the tree, or orange, it's still got to ripen on the shelf, which is strange. It acts like a, what do they call it, the achia, or the, can't remember the stringent variety names, but yeah, although it's really tasty, really sweet. I lost 2 mangoes this season. They're seed grown in 2017. This is the first one. It was the pearl from Perfection. It was a fruit that I ate, planted the seed, grew in 2017. About 1 or 2 years later, or 2 seasons later, I actually even picked the fruit off this in around 2019. 2020, 2021, it flowered, but it didn't hold any fruit. And it was fine, it was lush, I was happy. Last year, or it's actually, was it this year, it almost had no growth. It put on flowers, but it didn't put on any new growth at all. No new growth points. It tried to. It made a couple of buds quite late, and then strangely it just completely died off. It's got 2 stakes that came out from the seed, and this one died off months earlier, maybe in the spring. This one was fine until, yeah, I think it died this winter, I think. And I've actually lost 6 mangoes, although I thought the previous mangoes I lost was due to my inexperience in growing, and I thought now that I'm a I've been growing fruit trees for years and know what I'm doing. Planted it in mulch, planted it higher, aerated the soil and all of that. That I'll have better success, and I did for a bit. I even harvested one, but now yeah, it's died off again. In the same spot, I've planted other spots in the yard too, but it is quite a thick clay soil ground here. When I first started here, it was purely orange clay. We've built up the topsoil slowly over time, and it's gotten better. But yes, lost a few mangoes. I think that's my last mango attempt for now. I've got one in the front. I haven't really experimented much in the front, so I'm going to see how I go with that. The soil is quite different. It's more sandy. So I've got one Brooks at the front at the moment, and doesn't seem too happy, but it's still alive. This is also the second one that I planted in 2017 from seed. This is the thing they call it the Golden Pride. It's from Panata, this one, that I ate in 2017 and planted, and it was doing fine. It actually even flowered this spring, and it just recently died off this spring. Don't know what happened. Is it root rot? It's in the ground. But yeah, we don't know what's going on with mangoes in my soil here. It's another angle of the large leaf Jaboticaba. This is some fig cuttings which were planted 15 plus years ago. They actually really struggled to get established here for some reason, this one, but it's finally taken off, really taken off, and even getting a little bit out of control there, taking over the last year's netting, or last season's netting. But although it produces really small figs, but it gets loaded, it makes up for the small figs. You can't eat them all, it's just so much. This is the stump. I'll definitely be pruning after this in the late season. Another thing I lost this season, again it's another one that's about 15 years old, one of the older original trees which I planted. This was a seed grown loquat. We've picked from it, you know, many years, at least around 8 to 10 years we've been harvesting from it, and this year it seems to have died off. Don't know if it's going to come back. It's very unhappy. You can see it's struggling, and it looks like it's on its way out. I'm not sure, although this sign here seems like it's trying to recover. Actually, I didn't notice that till now, just now. I don't know, I'm thinking of removing it and replacing it maybe with another loquat, or with something else, I'm not sure. It's pretty sad to see it like this, because it's one of my really early days. I had a very good connection with this tree. It you know, it was just something that I really looked forward to seeing every day, as it was the only tree in early days which I had, one of the only trees I had, and it was seed grown. It was one of the first trees which I ever seen flowering for the first time, you know, maturing from seed to a flowering and fruiting tree. So it's one that my father almost took out. It was about year 4 from seed, and he said, look, this isn't going to give us any fruit. I said, let's wait one more year, one more season, and we did, and it flowered that same season. And we've been picking, all the family's been around eating from it, as well as the native bats getting into it at night. But this is what the fruit looks like this year. You just don't know what happened. It's tiny. Yeah, you can't get it to focus. Yeah, but it seems like there's some growth coming, but it's like really struggling. It must be a root rot. I don't know what else it is. I haven't put anything here. I haven't fed it anything. I don't know what caused it. Whoops, almost fell over. And this is the sort of clay soil I'm telling you about that we've got. This is a young berry that's, I guess, about 3 years old. I doubt that would have done anything to the mammoth loquat. It's just a little plant here on the side, which is loaded with fruit. It's definitely loved all the rain we've had, and it's paying back with all the berries, all the fruits. Yeah, another one we've lost this year again is a red delicious apple. We didn't really have it for fruit, although they used to hold a few fruits. We mainly had it just as a, you know, shade, sun protection for the chooks. When it gets to 40 degrees, it's amazing. They nest under it during the day. Looks like we've lost that as well. I'm shocked. I don't know what's upset that. You know, it's another one, 15 years plus, and suddenly gone. That's one I brought from nursery with my mother long ago, and it's got some leaves, I think, or a couple maybe at the bottom, but yeah, it seems to have gone. It's definitely gone, because it would have produced some leaves by now. Ice cream beans, loving the rain, no death there at all. It's lush, it's giving a bounty full of flowers for it to come, I hope. There you go, those are the flower buds just waiting to open up. No problem at all. Ice cream bean. Pomegranate's fine, happy, doing well. Not liking the wind, I don't think. It's knocked off a lot of its flowers, although it still has a few. This was grown from a cutting. This is the stump, I'll show you. It's quite a sweet one, sweet variety. We prune the bottom growth. It does make a lot of shoots at the bottom, but just clean that up. We got once the fruit sets, we net individually. Otherwise the lorikeets get the head in there, and I think the bats too. I had a really mature, same age, cutting grown as well here, which was sour, very sour, so we replaced that with, there's my son eating peach. Wow. You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we replaced the sour variety, gave that away, and put this cutting in. Someone said that this was really large and sweet, producing pomegranate, grown from cutting as well. So just happy as well, doing well in this very tight spot, because we've pretty much run out of space that we can plant in. The rest of the space is left for, you know, for the family, for the kids, walking around, playing ball, things like that. Alright, thanks for stopping by. Have a good day.